through the use of artificial intelligence, plus chatbot technology, we are the company's first, best line of defense against the customer.
This is BOESCHLIT. Good morning, I'm Kurt Balderdash, and this is BOESCHLIT, your bi-weekly business and technology podcast that weighs less than a conventionally staffed overweight news team. But first, let's see what's raising our eyebrow of derision today. 90-year-old William Shatner went into space for real on Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin rocket. Apparently, the flight went smoothly with no trouble at all. Upon landing, Shatner said, "Everyone should do this." Calls to book a flight on Blue Origin on my behalf have so far not been returned. Recently, Starbucks celebrated 50 years in business. The coffee chain, which started in Seattle in 1971, has nearly 33,000 stores worldwide, half of which are within 6 inches of each other. Mark Zuckerberg seems obsessed with imaginary places. Referring to it as the Metaverse, Facebook's definition is, the Metaverse is a set of virtual spaces where you can create and explore with other people who aren't in the same physical space as you. Sounds like an ayahuasca retreat. They may have something there if they can avoid the vomiting. Speaking of nothing, virtual real estate worlds backed by NFTs are becoming a thing. Places, so to speak, like Superworld and Decentraland are virtual worlds where you can buy property of a sort. The concept is that some people are willing to purchase virtual real estate, which is certainly a contradiction in terms. 2006 is calling, and Anshe Chung wants her second life back. More virtual news. Vaporware reality headset company Magic Leap is sucking another $500 million out of the pockets of gullible investors who still think the company has a chance at producing VR headsets in anyone's lifetime. McDonald's is experimenting with meatless hamburgers. Called the McPlant, the burger will be available in 8 locations throughout the U.S. as they try to determine if there's a market for compressed, reconstituted lawn clippings. The fictitious state of California faces a self-inflicted energy crisis as they shut down 4 natural gas power generators and their sole remaining nuclear power plant. The state, which has a history of brownouts, is scrambling to force energy companies to build renewable energy sources along with large battery storage centers, all of which may not be possible within the few short years before California could lose all power and slip into the myth of legend. According to some, California will have to seek more energy from other states and will likely have to turn to Oregon, Washington, and Nevada to burn as fuel. And speaking of California, the backup of container ships sitting off the coast of Long Beach full of cheap Chinese crap that no one needs will likely continue for some time, despite the massive and clever federal effort to change the welcome sign on the port entrance to Open 24/7.
BOESCHLIT Technology News.
With BOESCHLIT Technology News, I'm Anita Martini. A big trend in technology these days is the Internet of Things, or IoT. IoT is the connection of millions of tiny computers and sensors through the Internet that upload their data to the cloud. This could be anything such as weather information, machinery, or cars. IoT seems to be everywhere these days. Except your backside. Some estimate the IoT market to be near $11 trillion, though most believe that number to be wildly inflated, mostly for the consumption of gullible media. Obviously, cybersecurity is of increasing importance. One company laser-focused on personnel security is Piddletree, and they have just announced a new IoT-based employee identification service for companies that wish to track their workers. The new service is called ID.IoT. It's a chip embedded into an employee's posterior Well, there you have it. They are finally everywhere.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
Wanna call BOESCHLIT? Use our hotline. It's open 24 hours a day and 24 hours a night.
Thank you for calling BOESCHLIT. To assist you better and to avoid direct customer contact, please choose from the following menu of options. If you would like to speak to someone about your billing account, press 1. If you have a technical question and would like to speak to someone in the Philippines, press 2. If you have a problem with vertigo and don't know where to turn, press 3. For issues with your elbows, press 4. Do not press 5. For issues with your elbows and memory problems, we said press 4. If you have an obsessive-compulsive disorder, press 6. Repeatedly. If you would like to speak to someone in black lingerie and matching high heels, press 7. If you would like to skip this option, press 8. If you would like to skip this option in Spanish, marque ocho. If you would like to leave a detailed message concerning our service, press 9 and hang up. For all other options, please hold on the line while we find someone that cares.
And now, travel with PERSPICUTCHEON FOGG. Travel with PERSPICUTCHEON FOGG, international travel reporter.
This is PERSPICUTCHEON FOGG here, international travel reporter. I am standing outside a corral in the town of Santa Toro, home to Spain's lesser-known Running of the Bulls celebration. Each year in October, the city holds its massive, celebrated event. But instead of people running in front of the bulls, they are seated outside cafes along the path that the bulls will run and drink their malt liquor beer. The event commences with a starter pistol, like the one here I have in my hand. Oh dear.
Oh boy, we lost PERSPICUTCHEON. Well, perhaps we can get him back later.
Rolling like a big meatball of news. This is BOESCHLIT.
Today we conclude our two-part series on customer service, a company's first line of defense. This is BOESCHLIT technology reporter Peter Dongle. Companies today use technology to automate just about every part of their business, including customer service. A few years ago, you could call a company or send an email. That has been replaced by chat sessions with people sometimes on the other side of the planet paid $1 a day to care about your problem. Now, virtual chatbots, supposedly an artificially intelligent mechanism, have appeared. They require no human in the loop whatsoever, except the poor customer trying to get answers to their questions. Today we speak to Deeply Callis, president of ScatChat, one such AI-based virtual chat system. Mr. Callis, you seem to be accelerating the demise of customer service.
I don't believe we are doing that at all. We are freeing the company from the tedious task of dealing with customers. The average company spends 50,000 hours a year handling customer requests and complaints. That's a lot of time.
But that's just part of doing business.
Not anymore. Through the use of artificial intelligence, plus chatbot technology, we are the company's first, best line of defense against the customer.
But why would you mistreat the customer like that? They could just go somewhere else.
That is unlikely. According to research, most people simply disengage with the chat session whether it's a human or chatbot. We are constantly working to accommodate more customer complaints by shortening the average time the customer stays engaged with the chat system.
In other words, the quicker you alienate a customer that's trying to resolve a problem, the quicker they'll just give up.
We call it customer disengagement. The more customers disengage, the more we can serve. It also tends to inform a company just how important the complaint really is. In most cases, if the customer disengages from our system, it looks like they really didn't have a problem at all but just wanted to complain. The quicker they disengage, the quicker the company and the customer can get back to their lives. It's really a win-win scenario.
What if the customer has a legitimate problem? An order never arrived, or it was damaged, or a billing error.
We try to determine the nature of the problem early on. However, sometimes they use too many words and the chatbot system might get confused. When that happens, it will try to send the person to an FAQ webpage where they can read something hopefully related to what they were asking for. In other cases, they are sent to L.
Excuse me.
To L. It stands for logic loop. When a chatbot gets confused and can't send the customer off somewhere else, or if the customer is really persistent, it goes back to the beginning of its questions and starts over again. That's the loop.
You know people hate this stuff.
Well, it's the cost of doing business today. Efficiency and AI are the hallmarks of a profitable company. In fact, we are testing some new software that will allow workers to attend meetings totally virtually. There will be an AI-based program that will attend meetings on their behalf, saving them lots of work time.
So meetings will be nothing more than a bunch of computer programs talking to each other.
That's the idea.
But what could they possibly accomplish?
There will be a transcript of everything. Each worker bot, as we call them, will have studied previous meeting transcripts and work emails to really understand the worker. Then, during meetings, it can completely represent them as if they were really there themselves. It's the future of truly remote work.
So why have employees at all?
Oh, that's an HR matter. We don't get into that. We focus on communications efficiency.
So, with a totally automated company, you can have little programs running around simulating employees, and the employees can be off doing who knows what.
Oh yes, it'll be an amazing future.
With no one in it.
And finally, some movie theater owners are experimenting with a new business model to bring back the industry in a post-COVID randomly reimposed mask mandate world. The idea is to sell tickets to movies for about $20 and have that price cover all the food in the concession areas, like an all-you-can-eat buffet of popcorn, nachos, hot dogs, and soft drinks. In the future, the theaters will also renovate the seating areas for an anticipated 50% increase in seat width. The change is seen as a very creative move for the industry, and some hope it will spark similar moves by the airline industry, who now charge $500 to see a movie in ever-shrinking seats and with a single serving of lousy, unidentifiable food. That's all for now. Join us again next time. Different day, same BOESCHLIT.